Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Neon. I am here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And man, this is really weird. All the dominoes are falling over very quickly for DEI. Now, Walmart is walking back its DEI program, which is so weird because I didn't even know Walmart had a DEI
I think at this point, any company ever out there has one, apparently. If you want to be on the right list, if you want to get the right funding, you have to have DEI. But yeah, I was surprised because it's always been kind of like diverse and inclusive, and I was surprised it had its own DEI going on too.
Walmart always came across to me as being very like middle of the road, middle America. But again, you know, we're living in a time when, you know, freaking John Deere tractor, Bud Light, and Tractor Supply had DEI programs. And these are not companies that I would have thought would have DEI programs.
Again, if you wanted to be on certain lists, if you wanted to, you probably get tax breaks, you probably had to have these programs.
Venture capital, like you had to suckle off the DEI teat. And now they're realizing, like, well, now that the free money's run out and consumers are revolting, if they want to actually make money, they're going to have to drop it pretty damn quick. Mm-hmm. And everybody's
now the country voted so against this kind of stuff. Yeah. They're probably like, oh crap, we got to turn heel now.
Yeah, the heel turn. So yeah, it didn't last very long. It only lasted like 3 or 4 years. And they're like, yeah, this doesn't make money and it pisses people off. Maybe we shouldn't do this. Maybe we shouldn't do this. So let's talk about it. Before we get into it any further, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants. Guys, you'll get a woohoo if you subscribe. Go out to clownfish-.com and support the reef. We got merchandise out there. We also have exclusive content, which you can also find on clownfishtv.locals.com. We do not have a DEI program here.
No.
So, sorry. We like everybody equally except
unless
for the
you're
assholes.
A dick. Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. That's always been my motto is like,
Me too. I have no problem with people unless they give me a reason to.
Yeah, like I don't care what your politics are. I don't care what your religion is. If you're an asshole, you're an asshole, and assholes come in all flavors. There's a
flavors.
There's a joke in there somewhere. So this is coming from Axios. Again, this is the same Axios where the CEO was like having a meltdown the other day because we need journalists. We need Axios. It said companies in the U.S. were backing off from DEI. Then Walmart entered the chat. This week, the retail giant said it would cut back on diversity, equity, and inclusion because of Robbie Starbuck again. 35-year-old anti-woke music producer turned activist who's pushed around a dozen companies to retreat.
Yes, because one guy can push these companies around. Not that they weren't pushed around to take it in the first place, or the DI in the first place. Now he's going after Walmart. Walmart is the largest private employer. I think 1.6 million.
Something like that.
People that work there. So they have a lot of people. And I think if they do this, other retailers might join in because if Walmart's the biggest and they're doing it, other retailers might decide to drop DEI as well.
Right. Starbucks says he's been talking to companies who will be following in their footsteps. He was saying
Target and Amazon probably.
Target and Amazon. Now, Amazon, I think, might do it on their own because Jeff Bezos has already made it very clear that the Washington Post isn't supposed to pick a side politically. And I think Amazon, again, this is a big retailer. It's like you have a lot of customers. And I guarantee you half your customers probably like Trump. Or at least they
we know how people voted, I'm just saying.
Right. Just statistically speaking, if you're shipping to everybody in America, you're shipping to a lot of Trump supporters.
People voted, not because they like Trump personally, but they said that they couldn't vote for Harris and they're tired of this forced, stuff. And this DEI has actually caused, I think, more problems than it has ever helped.
There actually are several left-leaning outlets that said that DEI has... and all of the forced diversity and the race baiting, all this stuff has actually pushed away the middle, and they pushed them into the arms of Trump. Mm-hmm. And so if for no other reason, you're losing money and you're losing voters, so knock this shit off. But yeah, he said, I encourage other companies to work with us to do the same. You need to get rid of it. Walmart's going to phase out the term diversity, equity, and inclusion. They'll just call it something else. It also is going to review supplier diversity programs to ensure that they don't provide preferential treatment
based on like race or gender or something like that.
And this is actually a thing. This actually is the thing that happens because we had certain companies going out and saying that, look, we're only going to buy from, black-owned businesses or gay-owned businesses or whatever. And yeah, when you make a big deal out of it, it's like you're kind of sending a message to your customers, like, look, if you're not, you know what I'm saying?
Well, what sucks is too is like, why weren't you buying it from them before? You know, why did it take?
Like,
why did it take like a BLM tag for you to start doing it? You know,
and we saw this, and this is the thing. This is like, yeah, you weren't going to support these people before. Like, it shouldn't matter. It shouldn't matter.
Honestly, it doesn't matter. I think you should have a wide range of products, and if it happens to be owned by this or that kind of person, who cares?
Now, we saw there were a couple of instances. I know Etsy for a while with BLM was tripping over themselves. Like, they weren't spotlighting these people before, but now all of a sudden, now it's trendy. Now we got to be like, okay, we're gonna spotlight black-owned businesses or whatever, which is fine. I mean, I think people have a right to.
Well, there was other companies that were giving out like money, like YouTube and stuff, like were like for creator programs that you were a certain race or gender or whatever.
So I don't want to go into too much detail, but let's just say that there were some programs a couple of years ago where creators of a certain demographic were basically bankrolling programs that would give to another demographic. And it was basically digital reparations.
Yes, that they were allowed to have free money and everybody else had to pay it back.
Right,
yes.
Everybody else had to pay it back. They got free money.
So there's that. They could discontinue the use of the term La Tinkerbell. Well, you know what I'm talking about.
That was the stupidest. Like,
and they kept saying, we hate this, and they kept doubling down on it. I'm like, why won't you listen? That's the same as using hard R words and stuff like that. Right. You know?
Well, they were doing that, try to get it. But it was like,
I'm like, don't do any of it. How's that?
It was like you had some white Karen going into their language, their gendered language, and saying, this is problematic, let's change it all. It's like, no, that's stupid. Did you ask any of the people? Like, it's always people getting offended on behalf of other people.
Yeah, but when you asked them, they hated it and they wouldn't listen. And I'm just tired of it. If you wouldn't say the one word, shouldn't say that one either. They tell you don't like it, don't use it.
Let's see here. They're going to pull out the Human Rights Campaign's Corporate Equality Index, a scorecard for a business commitment to LGBTQ plus equality and causes. They're wrapping up a 5-year commitment to the Center for Racial Equity, which began in 2020. Some of the changes, like the Supplier Diversity update, were already underway before this week.
Oh, really?
Reality check. A lot of this is symbolic. It appears that Walmart will continue an internal upskilling program that's been successful in promoting Black and Hispanic employees. There's no problem with saying, hey, maybe you haven't gotten a shot because of whatever your circumstances, or maybe people passed you over for whatever. The problem I have with the equity part of it is you basically give unfair advantages to people at the expense of other people. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, it's not about leveling. It should always be about leveling the playing field for everybody. So everybody, equal opportunity employment, right?
That's what it used to be.
People. Yeah.
They also, well, they're not mentioning here, I don't think, but they also said that they were going to re-examine their funding for certain things. Because I guess Walmart always funds community, different things. They always have done that. And one of the things I guess they were funding were some of these pride events and things like that they are still going to support, but they're going to make sure that they're children friendly, because we've had some events of recent years, just a couple months ago, whatever, last summer, where people were running around in bondage gear. They had dicks out, they had boobs out, and they were like having kids pet the people and like dress as dogs and all that. And it's like, yeah, see, there's a difference between an actual pride parade where people are proud and then people just run around naked.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's like, again, you're talking to a guy who grew up stone's throw from San Francisco, and one of my mom's best friends was openly gay, and like, it was a very different time. Like, it was like, okay, you're gay, you're like, man, whatever. Now it's like, oh no, you're also dressed like a dog. And
yeah, but unfortunately that everybody, all the normal people get painted with that broad brush too. And that's not fair. That's really not fair.
Furries out there, you like to dress the costume. That's fine. But
I'm not talking about that.
We're talking about people with their dicks out at parades.
And they were in bondage gear, going around all fours, barking like a dog with a dog collar on. That's what I'm talking about.
That's a freak show. That's not a pride parade. That is a freak circus. But
if you go back to the other one, though, back to the article real quick. Yeah, it was funny because they're talking about the things, and he mentioned that he's not. Yeah, they said prospective workers of color and current workers of color could feel chill and could be hurt. And he's like, I'd say that assertion is hilarious because I'm a Latino man with a mixed ethnic background, and it was a big motivation for them dropping these woke policies. And Starbuck tells Axios.
Yeah,
so he's not a white guy.
Yeah, he's not a white guy. I don't think he likes
People of all
people
racial
like-
backgrounds are sick of woke policies and leftism
Yes.
being shoved down our throats.
That's exactly
Yes, exactly.
Because it actually boomerangs back and hurts the groups it's supposed to help. Because then what happens is people look at minorities or LGBTQ plus folks, whatever, and they're like, oh, well, because they're getting all these advantages, and this is all we hear about is this or that or this group or that group or whatever. Now we hate these people. Like, we didn't hate them before, but now we hate them because we have it shoved down our throats all the time, and all we have to hear
That's
about
what I'm
is how
saying.
we're awful, they're great, all the entertainment is like,
DEI has done nothing but make
Divide.
people more divided.
Divided
It's
people.
really, and even people that are supposed to be helping, it causes them more harm too. It's like, this is stupid. Just stop.
Well, it's just like, I mean, we talk about, casting choices and stuff. And I said the other day about the Masters of the Universe movie, they're talking Idris Elba is probably going to be Man-at-Arms, which I'm okay with. Like, I wouldn't have thought anything of it. Like, 10 years ago, even, I wouldn't have thought
He's a
anything
ginger
of it.
though, but no,
No, of course. But I'm saying I like Idris Elba, right?
I like him too, actually.
And I would have been okay, honestly, with, and I know people get pissed at me, but I would have been okay with, Giancarlo Esposito being Professor X. That was rumored too. And I think there's a difference between hiring the right actor, a good actor for a role, and hiring somebody based solely on DEI, and you know it when you see it. But now what happens is if you hire a legitimately good actor for a role because they're the best actor for the role, immediately people are like, oh, well, that person's just because, race swap and DEI and whatever.
Well, that's because everybody's so used to it.
Right.
But anyway.
It's lazy.
But anyway, so now Walmart's walking it back, which means other retailers will probably start walking it back as well. It just needs to go away because it is nothing but cause problems. It has not helped like it was supposed to. Who could have foreseen that one? And Hollywood and people, in the media have done so much damage too to further damage it by pushing it so hard. It's just
stupid.
it is being stupid. So apparently they're going to walk it back.
Yeah, so there we go, guys. We're going to see a lot of these dominoes fall over the next, especially after Trump is sworn in, because I think things are going to change. They were changing before, and basically it just came down to the general public is sick of it. They're sick of it. Everybody. I'm not talking just the white people and the straight people. We're talking the gay people and the black people and the brown people and all the
We
people.
just say people, and there's a big,
All the people.
a lot more than half. People.
We never used to separate
No, it
ourselves
was just
out
like people.
like that, right?
It is what it is. All right, we wrapping this up, please.
We'll wrap it up. Please subscribe. We'll talk later.
Bye.